What's going on, guys? I'm Mr. Golden Gamer and I make gaming videos that nobody watches. The JAK Jawbreaker Aftermarket part for the KV Broadside was added to Modern Warfare 3 this past week. This is the first aftermarket part for a Modern Warfare 2 carry forward weapon, and it converts the KV Broadside shotgun into a battle rifle. To unlock the Jawbreaker, you need to complete 5 weekly challenges from week 2 in Season 3. Personally, I think this is a really good aftermarket part. I've been having a lot of fun using this since it's essentially a brand new battle rifle in the game. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons, my thoughts, and my favorite class setup for the JAK Jawbreaker aftermarket part. But before we get into that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We just hit 800 subscribers and we're on our way to 1,000. So if you like Call of Duty and other FPS games, I'd love to have you on board. So let's talk about the pros and cons of this conversion kit. To start off with the pros, and this is really the main reason you would be using this in the first place, is its damage output. This thing hits extremely hard. It's a 3-shot kill to anywhere in the body at any range. So you can tag someone 3 times in the ankle at 150 meters and you're gonna get that kill, which makes this thing feel very consistent. On top of that, if you sneak a headshot in, you can get a 2-shot kill anywhere inside of 40 meters. So that's 1 shot to the head, 1 shot to the body, and you'll get that 2-shot kill, which makes the time to kill extremely fast, and you can absolutely melt people with this thing if you are hitting those shots. So headshots are crucial to this thing's performance. With all that being said, there are definitely some drawbacks to using this aftermarket part. As I said, hitting your shots is really important to be successful with this weapon, but it can be kind of hard to hit your shots because this thing has a very low fire rate and some pretty high recoil as well. The low fire rate can make it a little bit more difficult to connect those close to mid-range shots because oftentimes whenever the bullet's actually coming out, your reticle might not be on them at that exact second. So I find myself whenever I'm against a movement king or something like that, someone strafing very aggressively, it's really hard to track them and make sure that your shots connect. Maybe that's a skill issue, but either way, low fire rate guns like something like the Sidewinder are kind of just hard to use because of the fact that they shoot so slow. The recoil on this gun, in my opinion, can be mitigated pretty well with attachments. This thing is pretty bouncy, but I do have a lot of recoil suppressing attachments that I'm going to go over a little bit later in this video, so stay tuned for that. But the recoil isn't as big an issue, but it might be an issue to some. Another thing with this gun is that having the aftermarket part on reduces your ammo in a way. You can only rock a 20-round mag. That's just what it is. You can't put any extended mag or anything like that on this weapon, so you only have 20 bullets, which because this thing kills in 3 all the time, it's really not that big a deal. But what is a problem is the reload speed. This thing is super slow. I think if it's an empty reload, it's like 4.5 seconds, something insane like that. So you can definitely get caught in the reload animation because it does take super long, which is unfortunate. Something that doesn't really affect me, but it might be an issue to some players, especially on controller, is that since this is a shotgun, the aim assist rules for shotguns apply to it. So anything beyond 50 meters, there's no aim assist with this thing, which kind of sucks on a controller, especially at those longer ranges. You're going to want that aim assist, especially in something like Warzone if you're using this thing like that. 50 meters isn't all that far. This value's normally like 200 meters or something like that for normal battle rifles. So maybe they end up changing this to sit in more aligned with the battle rifles or something like that. But as of now, it behaves like a shotgun in terms of aim assist. As for my thoughts on the JAK Jawbreaker, I really like it. This thing is really fun to use. It's no meta weapon by any means. This is not an MCW, but this is a high risk, high reward weapon and super satisfying to get kills with this thing. It's really fun to use. You have to play a little bit slower, a little bit more conservatively, but if you do that, you can find success with this thing and have fun. It's a nice little change of pace to use this thing rather than using one of the meta guns. I really like using the sandbox we have here in this game because there's so many weapons, so many aftermarket parts. I'm really happy to see Sledgehammer adding aftermarket parts for Modern Warfare 2 weapons. That gives like a resurgence to these weapons that people haven't used in a while. I haven't even thought about using the KV Broadside in God knows how long at this point. So the fact they're adding this and giving it new life, I really like that. The aftermarket part system has been a huge win for Sledgehammer in my opinion, and I hope to see it return in future games. As I said earlier, you can definitely mitigate the recoil of this thing by putting on the right attachments. But before I show you my class setup, I feel that I need to mention this because the muzzle slots on this weapon actively does not work. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I found this out actually by watching an exclusive Ace video, but you can apply a muzzle to the gun in the loadout screen, but the muzzle itself doesn't actually do anything, and what people are thinking is that they actually meant to block off that attachment slot, so you weren't actually supposed to be able to use muzzles with this, so don't use one. It's a waste of an attachment slot. It doesn't do anything. So here is my class setup. So obviously you're going to need to have the JAK Jawbreaker Aftermarket part on. Then for the rear grip, I have the Demo X2 grip. For the stock, the FT TAC Elite stock. For the optic, the JAK Glassless optic. And for the underbarrel, the SL Skeletal Vertical grip. This setup will essentially reduce your recoil at the expense of hardly anything else. The ADS speed is even a little bit quicker than the base, and the ADS speed on the Jawbreaker itself is already like 240 milliseconds, which is really quick already. I will say the hip fire on this setup is worse, but you're not going to be hip firing this weapon anyway, and you have a slower crouch movement speed, which really isn't all that big a deal in my opinion. There is a pretty large reduction of recoil. Something else you can do is throw on the Bruin Heavy underbarrel. That will give you a little bit more recoil reduction, but at the expense of the ADS speed, which personally I just didn't want to do. So go give this thing a shot and let me know in the comments down below what you think of the JAK Jawbreaker Aftermarket part. I know myself, I've personally been really enjoying it. If you've made it this far, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. Once again, I'm Mr. Golden Gamer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.